Hey, what's good, you guys? It's your boy Bill Mahari here, representing Mahari Nation Sports Podcast on a beautiful Friday evening here in the city of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Salute the entire LDBC. Salute to the greater boxing community. Um, Tonight, history was made. All right, the T Rex, the GOAT, Claressa Shields defeats Ivana Habazin to become the first woman, become the fastest boxer, both male and female, to win championships in three different weight divisions. So right now, this woman is on a course right now. She's making history, and she's being a lot of ladies along with it too. Of course, the legend. How you doing, bro? What's going on, man? Now, here's my thoughts on the whole fight. I suspected Claressa Shields to basically walk through, Habazine. You know what I mean? I know both these women have had, personal history with each other dating back to the uh the incident that took place in Michigan with Habazine's trainer and stuff like that. So I don't need to go too far into that. Now, in the fight, though, Clarissa Shields really did a good job, controlling the pace of the fight, and she really showed a lot of her ability to box on the inside there too. I mean, she let's be honest here, she was basically walking through Havenstein's punches, and she was just basically hitting her to the body most of the night. And basically Havenstein had no answer for it. She looked like she didn't even want to be there. She just she just came into the fight, this as passive. She just wasn't really engaged, even though she was trying her best. She just didn't look engaged in the fight there. And Clarissa Seals, as the monster that she is, you know took advantage of that. Hitting her with good body shots, wearing her down to the body. You know what I mean? And she basically controlled the inside fighting, and Habazine just could not figure out a way to adjust to that. And of course, Seals did whatever she wanted, and now she basically is now stands alone in history. You know what I mean? Now she's up there with among all the all-time greats in the history of the sport. You know what I mean? So congratulations to her. She did what she had to do. She did a great job, and she got the job done. Now, if there is one huge, flaw, I should say weakness that I see with Clarissa Shields, you know, and again, this is just my, critique. Okay, the one thing that I notice about what Clarissa Shields is how can she deal with a fighter that's going to apply, you know, intelligent pressure, but also accurate punching as well, and with a boxer with good footwork. Because I believe, in my honest opinions, that's the one thing that Clarissa Shields is going to have a huge issue to deal with. Now, I don't think I don't want to see her, go to MMA and face against Amanda Nunes. I mean, why waste your time with that? It literally makes no sense. Now, I hope to see a fight between her and Cecilia Brækhus, because those are the two of the greatest fighters in women's boxing right now. I don't want to see Alicia Napoleon Espinoza and her win and the Celine Cedrillo's winner. You know what I mean? I don't think it doesn't draw anything, because I don't think either of those ladies are going to want that kind of smoke with her. But I do believe that Cecilia Brækhus and Clarissa Shields need to fight each other. I said this before on 503's live stream, and I'm going to keep saying it. Both these ladies right now, they're at the top of women's boxing right now. There's no reason for them to just sit around and wait, or just play ring around the rosy with each other. You know, agree to a catch weight where they can agree upon and make the fight happen. You know what I mean? Lance Dunn, what's going on, bro? He said Carissa beat the crap out of her. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. And you know what? The one thing that it really was, kind of disappointing for me, in my opinion, is that Habazin just looked like a person that looked like the opponent that just basically went through the motions. You know what I mean? She just went through the motions and just could not and just did not want to be there that night. She just took the beating, and she just was not fully engaged, though. Even though she just had some moments in the fight, there just wasn't, a consistent amount of pressure that she put in to make Shields fear her. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, I think that Habazine just all the craziness that went through in the buildup of the fight, really, got her down in her head. You know what I mean? And it wasn't her night. Brooklyn Child Boxing, what's going on, bro? He said, I want to see Shields versus Breakers. I do agree. I think Cecilia Breakers and Claressa Shields do need to fight each other. Now I heard some people say maybe Hannah Gabriels, but I don't think Claressa Shields doesn't need to fight Hannah Gabriels again because she already beat her and made it look easy, even though she got knocked down for the first time in a grill against Hannah Gabriels. Now I do think that, truthfully though, I think that right now, none of these girls right now in different divisions would want to beat her. And Brooklyn Top Boxing says Breaker should move up. She has no competition at 147. I do agree with that. If you could agree to at least a catch weight or something like that, I would have no issue with that. You know what I mean? Because I think that, both these ladies, here's the one thing that I will say. Both these ladies, they do want to fight. They do want to fight each other. I don't see either of them ducking each other. I've heard that Cecilia's Breakers is thinking about facing against Katie Taylor. You know, as another fighter and on her resume. I don't think it would be wise to do that. I think if you're going to have an opportunity to make a lot of money and really, put your big stamp in women's boxing, I suggest you go out there and fight against the probably now the new face of women's boxing right now, and that is Claressa Shields. Hey Andre, what's going on though, bro? He said Breakers is too small for Shields. I agree. I think Cecilia Breakers is going to be very too small for the bigger Claressa Shields though. But like I said before, guys, the big weakness I see in Claressa Shields, and this is going to be something that a lot of DVC channels are going to mention those too, and I am as well. That if there's a big thing that Claressa Shields needs to be aware of is that how can she handle a fighter, who can apply pressure and can provide good footwork and can punch accurately. You know what I mean? Because the one thing that I've not seen Claressa Shields being tested is how can she fight under pressure. Most of our opponents right now are not willing to do that. So who can it be that person that can apply that? We don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Andre says, you know, Breakers would make more fighting tail on the zone. Maybe, yeah. But let's be honest there though, too though. Is Katie Taylor a bigger draw than Claressa Shields right now? We're just being honest here, guys. So I mean, here's the thing. I think that I think to be honest with you, I think that Cecilia Breakers should just stop messing around. Just go, just go for the fight with Claressa Shields because there's not many women right now that are really going to mess around with either of them. You know what I mean? And I think that to me, I think both these fighters need this fight to really, really solidify their legacies. Now, when you look at both of their resumes by par, both these ladies are going to go into the boxing Hall of Fame. There's no doubt in anyone else's mind. If you don't believe that, there's something wrong with you. But I think that for legacy's sake, in my opinion at least, I think Cecilia Breakers and Claressa Shields need each other because trust me, if those two ladies get in the ring and fight each other, boy, it will be some major fireworks. But let me just continue on the rest of the card there too. The first fight tonight was Alicia Napoleon Harris versus Ilan Sagiros, who was making her American debut out of Sweden. And I'll be honest with you, looking into this fight there, I think that Alicia was going to have some issues against a fighter who's a bit taller and can fight on the outside. Now, as the fight went on, I think that the big difference in that fight there was that you know that Sedaros was able to fight on the outside and basically using her size, not just with her size there too, but she did a good job using the left hand, the sneak on the inside there, and you know Alicia just was having trouble adjusting to that, and that knockdown in the second round turned out to be the big difference in all three judges' scorecards because each of them had her up by a point, and now she's now the basically the super middleweight double super womenweight middleweight champion in both the WBA and the IBF. And I think it was kind of the fight that was kind of building up to possibly, in the anticipation of fighting against Claressa Shields, but Claressa's going to probably move down, in weight You know what I mean? And probably go back down to at least 140 at the most. Now, the other fight on the card there too was a Duran Ennis though too. I think that Duran Ennis right now, he's too green right now to face against the champions right now. He looked very impressive there. It's basically with his body punching and good uppercuts and good movement. So I really liked my favorite part of the fight there is when he was basically showboating, did the bolo punch there with a little uppercut on the inside there. That made me laugh. But I think that Geron Ennis right now is just not ready to go against the other champions right now. I think he might be better off racing against the other gatekeepers at 147. Like a Thomas Delorme, uh, let's see, a Josecito Lopez. Those kind of people because I just don't see him at this stage right now beating the other contenders at 147. I think he just needs to continue to build his skill set, beat the other gatekeeper fighters to put himself in the mix, and then when it's due time, face one of the title holders there too. I think maybe, uh, to be honest with you, I think a fight between Duran Ennis and Sean Porter would be a really good scrap. You know what I mean? I think that would be a very good scrap to really see how Duran Ennis can deal with a guy who's got a very good chain and applies all the pressure that he can give to you. You know, and also make sure to smash that like button though too, guys. Andre says thoughts on the Ennis fight. He said I'm excited for both of my homies that are fighting. Yep. And Andre says give him Josecito Lopez because Josecito Lopez is a good move. I do agree with that. I think Josecito Lopez, could really give Duran Ennis a good fight there. You could give him a good run for his money. I just don't. I just think right now, at least from my opinion, I think that he's just too green right now to face against the elite fighters at 147. You know what I mean? I just don't think he's ready for that. I think if you give him to those kind of fighters like Josecito Lopez, Thomas Delorme, those kind of people in that weight class, I think it would be very beneficial for him to try to see where does he stand. Is he ready for those title contenders, or is he still need some more time? That's the way I kind of see it at. But credit to Duran Ennis. He did what he got to do, even though he was basically whooping on that boy. So they did the right thing in stopping the fight there too. I don't, and let me tell you this though too. I was getting very, very tired of listening to Paulie Malinowski's commentary. I mean, he was just driving me crazy with the amount of, garbage that he was posting on the telecast there too. He's always a sneak hating every single time he's on the mic, and it's like, dude, stop it, stop with this hating, though, bro. Really, it's making you look bad out there, man. So, you know, it is what it is, though, man. I guess he was kind of decent, but the slick hating, I just don't like out of Paulie Malignaggi, though, from my perspective at least there too. So, but it was a good fight. There was some good fights tonight there. I do think that these women fights need to be at least 3 minute rounds instead of the regular 2 minute rounds. Because listen, you had one fight at the beginning of the night that was basically a bloody type of affair. So I think that they should just let the ladies go for 3 minute rounds. I know a lot of other women fighters would prefer that instead of these 2 minute rounds to make the fight go fast. You know what I mean? So, that's just how in my opinion, at least, though, too, guys. So, that's just all I got to say about that, though. It was a very good night for boxing, though, too. So, but, that's just some of my thoughts on the matter, though, too, guys. So, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Andre says, be on the lookout for my guys, uh, Joseph DeRomo and Hector uh, Tanajira. Okay. Yeah, we'll make sure to keep an eye on that, though, too, my man. Yep, absolutely on that. You know, I'm actually can't wait for the rematch between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. And trust me, we're gonna talk a whole lot of stuff in the build up of the fight there, and hopefully Wilder, can put an end to the so-called quote unquote controversy and put Tyson Fury out of his misery. You know what I mean? I can't wait for that though, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down for the night though, guys. But congratulations to Claressa Shields for making history, the fastest woman in boxing, male or female, to win championships in three different weight classes, though male or female. So, she's already making history, and you know, Hector Tanacha is fighting on the Munguia card. Okay, yeah. I'll make sure to check that out for sure, though, man, for sure. But I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down for now, go guys. So salutes to Claressa Shields. She's on the plateau of history, though. So let's continue to support her, and hopefully just she could fight Cecilia Brækhus and really stamp her name in among the all-time greats in boxing history beyond male or female. You know what I mean? So have a good night, guys. Go, guys. This is Bill Mahar, represent Mahar Nation Sports Podcast. I will be back tomorrow morning for basketball conversations. We're going to go in on the Kevin Durant and Kendrick Burgess Twitter beef. So stay tuned for that, though, tomorrow morning at 11 p.m. Central Time, guys. So take care, everyone. And congratulations to Claressa Shields on a miraculous performance. This is Bill Mahar, represent Mahar Nation Sports Podcast. Salute to the entire LWC, and we out.